This is the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Calling farmers. A 5-minute look at activities and developments in the agricultural sector.
The Frome Sugar Factory will be suspending the harvesting of this year's cane crop due to the effects of persistent rains. We tell you more about the arrangements now being put in place. I'm Kevin Clark. Good morning.
From the heart of Kingston City to Sav in the West, youths on the corners, parents and groups now stand as part of the solution to crime and violence.
They tell their stories of change and hope starting Monday, January 11 on CSJP in 5. 5 minutes of weekly news and special interviews from the Citizen Security and Justice Program of the Ministry of National Security.
That's CSJP in 5, starting Monday, January 11 on Jamaica Magazine. Brought to you by the Citizen Security and Justice Program of the Ministry of National Security.
You don't want to miss this.
The Sugar Divestment Enterprise, SDE, has recommended that harvesting of the crop at Frome, Westmoreland be suspended for 10 to 15 days to allow for the drying out of the fields and improvements in the quality of the cane supplied to the factory. General Manager of the Sugar Company of Jamaica, SCJ Holdings, John Gale, says the suspension is due to last month's persistent rains in cane-growing areas.
We have been harvesting cane since the 4th of December. And the sucrose content, which we expect would have improved by the middle of the month, given that the rain would have subsided as normal this time of the year. The sucrose content in the cane continues to deteriorate. Because the cane farmers are paid based on the quality of cane, and quality is based on the sucrose, we find that the price per ton cane has been decreasing due to the low sucrose.
Mr. Gale says the practice is nothing new.
This is not an unusual position taken by factories when the weather condition, or rains particularly, is such that it makes it uneconomical to harvest.
It is hoped that cancellation will result in farmers receiving higher payments for their sugarcane, as well as allowing the factory to process more sugar. Mr. Gale notes that Frome's production targets are not affected by the temporary suspension of sugar production, as this period is the traditional dry season for the estate.
While in St. Catherine and Carolina there has been drought generally, Frome has been experiencing wetter conditions than normal. Once the conditions improve, which we think will not go beyond 10 to 15 days, we'll be able to restart the factory. The factory is ready, both tandems are ready, and we'll be able to still complete the crop within the scheduled time. We have already made enough sugar so a local market is satisfied.
The temporary suspension is not expected to affect the supplies of sugar to be exported to Italian firm Eridania Suisse, and the first shipment is expected to leave at the end of February. Mr. Gale says cane farmers and contractors in the area are in agreement with the course of action now being taken.
Farmers were experiencing cases where what they were receiving as their first payment for cane was lower than the cost for harvesting that cane. And that first payment was low because the sucrose was low. So they had actually begun to stop accepting quota and stop reaping because they said it makes no sense reaping the cane given the low quality and the wet conditions.
General Manager of Sugar Company of Jamaica Holdings, John Gale. Since its official launch just over a year ago, the National School Garden Program is reaping rewards, with more than $32 million worth of produce reaped, providing fresh fruits and vegetables for schools. The program, launched in October 2008, has been implemented in more than 500 primary, secondary and tertiary level schools island-wide. This number represents half of the proposed target, which is about 960 to 1,000 school gardens across the island by 2011. It is estimated that by March this year, the number of school gardens will be increased to between 580 to 600. And that brings us to the end of our program. If you have got questions or comments, send them to us here at the JIS at 58A Halfway Road, Kingston 10, or send your emails to radio@jis.gov.jm. And you can keep up with us by becoming a fan on Facebook. On behalf of studio engineer Douglas Harper, I am Kevin Clark. Have a good day.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service. the voice of Jamaica.